Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Yomi, which is Yevamos Daf Kuf. We are holding 14 lines from the top of the Amud. Tan Rabbanan, we learned in a Bryce, Ha'eved ve'isha, ein cholkin lahem teruma bebeis hagronis. Typically, an Eved or an Isha is not granted an allotment, a portion of teruma when they come out to the Beis Hagronis, as we learned yesterday. An Eved might be misidentified as a true kohen, and the Isha, yesterday she was entitled due to the fact that she was married to a kohen, but you never know what happened overnight, and we had another reason, a yichud concern. Ubemakim shecholkin, but in a place where they do give, noisnin leisha tchila, first you give the Isha before the men. Upaitrin oisamayad, and you send her away, take care of her right away. Well, what's going on? My karma, what do you mean? I just thought you said that we don't give an Isha her chelik in the Beis Hagorin. Achi kamar, the Brisa did not mean teruma. B'mokim shecholkin maser oni, was speaking about maser oni given to a poor person, which is in fact given inside one's home, as Rashi brings the pasuk, l'ger l'yasin almana v'acha b'sharecha. It's meant to be given in your house. Another reason, says Rashi, so that the poor people should not be shamed in public. It's a private affair. You give the maser ani, the poor man's allotment in your home. So in this case, there's no issue of misidentifying the Isha. She's poor. She's deserving of the maser ani. There's no issue of yichud. It's not out in the field in a secluded area. So in this case, where she's entitled, who do we give first? We have men, women standing. Who gets first? Noisnin leisha tchila, first the woman. Why? My time mishum zilusa, because of her shame and embarrassment. We try to address her needs quickly and send her off. Amar Rava, based on this halacha, Meresha, initially ki hava asu gavra ve'itasa, when a man and woman would come ladina to my bezdin, each one had his own din Torah with his litigant. Kamoi, in front of me, right? Hava sharina tigra, the gavra beresha. I would first address the tigra, the case of the man. First that went, and then I would do the women. Why? I would figure the machayev mitzvahs. Look, a man is chayev in mitzvahs. He's meant to be treated with greater respect. But kiva on the shaman Allah. Once I heard this halacha, the brisa, that we're concerned about the woman's feelings, the woman's sensitivity, and therefore we give her the maser ani first, and we send her on her way. Once I heard that, sharina tigra de itus beresha, I would address the needs of the woman first, take care of her din Torah, and send her off on her way. My time away mishum zelusa, to spare her shame and embarrassment. Okay, back to the Mishnah. We have two people. One of them is a kohen, one is an eved. They grow up, they are meshachrer each other. I give you a get shichrer, you release me, I release you. They are free to marry. Shichreru in. Shichreru sounds like it's optional. Well, if they did the shichrur, then their status change. Boy in, if they wish, they do it. But otherwise they don't do it. It's an optional procedure. Why is it not obligated? They're both stuck. Lisa shivcha in a yachal. They both cannot marry a shivcha, for there is a kohen amongst them. Baschir in a yachal. Likewise, they cannot marry a regular isha because of the eved amongst them. How can we just let this stand? What about the great mitzvah, Peru Revu? Amar Rava, you're right. Ema, let's revise. It's not optional, we obligate it, we mandate. Shichr, so he releases him, and likewise he releases him. This way they can go out and marry. The Mishnah continued with the case where we have a Kohen and Yisrael mixed up, meaning it's really the same case. You have the Kohen and the Eved Kohen, so they give a Shichrur. Now one of them is a freed slave, he's a Yisrael, the other fellow is a Kohen. You just don't know who's who. Mishnah says they have to treat themselves as Safek Kohanim, and we apply the Chumrei Kohanim and the Chumrei Yisraelim. The Mishnah did not specify. What is that? L'may hilchos are pertaining to what? Regarding their mincha, we know that a mincha that a Yisrael brings to the Beis Hamikdash undergoes kimitza, where he takes a scoop out of it and he puts it on the mizbeach, and the rest is eaten by the kohanim, as opposed to the mincha of a kohen, which is totally burnt on the mizbeach straight away without kimitza. In this case, a fellow who is a Suffolk kohen, Suffolk Yisrael, he brings a mincha to the mizbeach. What do we do with it? We go l'chumra on both accounts. Nikmetza is k'minchas Yisrael. On the one hand, we do kimitza like it would be a Yisrael's mincha. But ve'ina nechelas k'minchas kohanim. The kohanim cannot eat the remnants of the mincha. We treat it as a mincha brought by a kohen, which is totally burnt on the mizbeach. Okay, it's how do you work this out? HaKoimetz korev ba'atzmai, Shirayim kreven ba'atzmai. You scoop out the koimetz, you put it on the mizbeach, then you take the shirayim, and likewise put it on the mizbeach. So you've covered all bases. You've done kmitza, but also burnt everything, like the kohen. But how could you do that? Ikrikan, we should apply, in this case, the pasuk. Kol shemimenu leishim harehu bebal taktiru. We have a pasuk, a drasha, that a mincha, from which a koimetz was scooped out and placed on the mizbeach. Now it is shirayim, right? It could be the Yisrael's mincha. We don't know. And if indeed it is a minchas Yisrael which undergoes kemitza, which goes on the mizbeach, the rest cannot be burnt. It's shirayim, kol shemimenu leishim, an item from which you took a portion to the mizbeach. Harehu bebal taktiru, you cannot be makriv of it. How can you take a chance and be makriv of the rest? It may just be the remnants of a minchas Yisrael. True, if it's a kohen's mincha, you're good, but we don't know. Amar Yehuda Kessler of Shimon Pazi. This is the solution. The masaklu, you bring it up on the mizbeach, lushum eitzim. You know what you're thinking? You have a mind like this. On the chance that it is a minchas Yisrael and doesn't really belong, the shirayim don't belong to the mizbeach, well, we're not really being makar of it. We're just putting it up there as fuel, as wood, as fuel material. Ki Rabbi Lezer. In accordance with Shittas Rabbi Lezer, that you can do that. It's all up to what you have in mind. When you have something problematic, you can't bring it on the mizbeach l'reich nechayach. Aval atamala l'shum eitzim, you can bring it l'shum eitzim. Okay, hanich Rabbi Lezer, that works according to him, but not everybody agrees with this concept. El Rabbanon, who disagree, they say, look, think this, think that. The fact is, you're bringing something inappropriate. Michael Ameimar, so what's going to be with this mincha here? The Avala, Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimon, we have another solution. The San, Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimon Aimer. This is where a kohen was involved in the tumah and the Beis Hamikdash. She has to bring a carbon mincha. So how do you do it? HaKoimetz korev la'atzmai, v'ashirayim mispazrun al Beis Hadeshen. So there's a sugi about this. Bottom line is, there's a confusion there as well. What do you do with it? So you go and you strike a compromise. You make a kmitza, which leaves behind shirayim, but you want to burn everything. So you take the koimetz and put it on the mizbeach, and the shirayim you can't eat. So you put it al beis hadeshen, the area where they used to put the trumas hadeshen. You just burn it over there. So you did kmitza, and you didn't eat the mincha. You just consumed it on the beis hadeshen. Now, vafilu rabbanon loy pligi olei, the Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Shimon. Now, even the rabbanon who disagree with this concept, with this formula of burning the whole mincha partially on the beis hadeshen, not on the mizbeach, that's only over there. El minchas choyte, that particular minchas choyte shel kehanim. The Bas HaKrovi, because they disagree, they hold that you can actually be makar the whole thing on the mizbeach, as per the Gemara in Menachos. Aval, but in our case, we're in a quandary. We're stuck. We have a mincha that a fellow is bringing, but we don't know who he is. Is he a kohen or Yisrael? So in this case, for lack of better option, all will agree that this is a proper solution. Even the Rabbanon would agree that this is the way to go. Take the mincha, do a kmitza, which goes on the mizbeach, and the rest you burn on the beis hadeshen off the mizbeach, off site. Okay, so this mincha of a Suffolk kohen, Suffolk Yisrael, presents a dilemma. Minchas Yisrael has kmitza, and the rest goes to the kohanim. Minchas kohen completely on the mizbeach. What do? One of two options. According to Rabbi Lezer, you do kmitza, goes on the mizbeach, and the rest you put on the mizbeach l'shem eitzim. You say, look, if it doesn't belong there, it's just fuel. Or, according to the other approach, we'll take the rest and burn it off the mizbeach al beis hadeshen. Continues the Mishnah. Let's go back to that well-known halacha that an isha must wait between marriages. You must have a 3-month separation period between marriages to allow us to discern whether she is mu'beres from the first husband. She didn't wait 3 months. She married 2 months after her previous marriage. V'nasa, v'niseis, v'yolda, and now she had a child who is unidentifiable. We don't know whose child he is. Is he her first husband's Ruvain's child or her second husband's Shimon's child? Ve'en yodua im ben tisha l'rishon, im ben shiva l'achron. So she waited 2 months. 7 months down the road, she has a baby. Is he a 9-month baby from Reuven, or a 7-month baby belonging to Shimon? So what happens when it comes to Yibum concerns? So he got married. He had a wife, no kids, passed away. His wife is a Yevamos, to whom there are siblings amongst Reuven's family who may be his brothers, with whom he shares a father and a mother. There are siblings in Shimon's family as well, to whom he may be related to. Right? They actually can be his brothers, with whom he shares a father and mother. Now, one thing is certain. He certainly shares a mother with both sets of siblings, right? Because it's the same Isha that went from one man to the next. So what do they do when it comes to a Yibum situation? You see, Reuven's other kids, the other siblings, they look at this Yevamos and they say, look, perhaps she's the wife of our brother, with whom we share a father and mother, a full-fledged brother, in which case Yibum is mandated. Or perhaps this Yevamos is a wife of a man who is really only our half-brother, with whom we only share a mother, because he's really Shimon's son. And likewise, the siblings in Shimon's family say the same. We don't know whether we share a mother and father or only a mother. So if we share a mother and father, perfect Yibum opportunity. Yibum is father-based, right? But perhaps we only share a mother, in which case this Isha is the wife of our brother with whom we share a mother. She's an erva. So Yibum is not an option. This woman had children from Reuven and children from Shimon. What do they do when Yibum presents itself? By this fellow, this suffix, by his wife. They do chalitza, no Yibum. The same thing in the reverse. If this fellow, this suffix, let's call him Levi, right? First husband was Reuven, second husband was Shimon. This child is Levi. He doesn't know whether he belongs to Reuven's family or Shimon's family. But one thing he knows for sure, he shares a mother with the siblings in Reuven's family and shares a mother with the siblings in Shimon's family. So what do? The Isha there, whom those siblings left behind, can be perhaps his Yevamos, wife of his brother, his proper brother, with whom he shares even a father, or maybe she's an erva, a wife of a brother with whom he shares a mother. Cholitz v'loi miyabim. Oh, it gets a bit more complicated. Suppose Reuven and Shimon, right, the two husbands. Reuven had other children from a different wife, not from this wife here. And Shimon as well had other children from a different wife. Right? So Reuven had been previously married, had some boys. And then he married this Isha here, Rachel, had this son Levi, we called him Levi. Rachel went over to Shimon afterwards, without waiting that required time. She married Shimon. And Shimon already had another son from a different wife. So now it's actually fairly simple. You see, what is the relationship What are the shaychos between this suffix fellow, Levi, and the other children on both sides? Reuven's other child from another wife, or Shimon's child from another wife. It's either fully connected or fully disconnected. Either, I share a father with that other boy from Reuven's side. Either we both share Reuven, or it's nothing. We have no connection. We're unrelated. Total strangers. Because I'm Shimon's son and you're Reuven's son. Likewise with the other boy on the other side, whom Shimon fathered from another mother. This suffix, this fellow Levi, turns to him and says, look, either we're brothers on our father's side, we share Shimon as father, or I'm from Reuven, you're from Shimon, we're totally disconnected. We don't share father or mother, right? This is, and here it's different. Here, the child was born from a different mother, so there's no connection. Either we're connected or disconnected. See, in the first part, we were connected. We certainly share the same mother. The question was also the same father, which would facilitate yibum. We're not sure, so we only do chalitza. We can't do yibum because perhaps you're an erva. We share only a mother. Here, either we share a father or nothing. So it's fairly simple. When this Levi suffix is presented with a yibum situation amongst the other siblings, he can do whatever he wants, chalitza or yibum. Either she's yivam or she's a total stranger. Vehem. And likewise, when it comes to them, when they are faced with a yibum opportunity on his end, Levi, the suffix passes away, his yivam is presenting to yibum, for yibum, to the two sons, one Reuven's son from a different mother, one Shimon's son from a different mother. There again, there's no concern of erva. Either she's a yivama to one of them, or she's just a stranger. So here, echad choletz v'echad b'yavim. So Reuven's son should do the chalitza, address her that way, and Shimon's son should do the yibum. You can't do the other way because I don't know if she's my yivama, maybe she's the other fellows. So one has to do chalitza, and the other one could do yibum. Okay, let's move away from yibum per se. Let's say we have these two fellows, Reuven and Shimon, who are the two fathers, the two potential fathers. One of them is a Yisrael, one is a Kohen. Now this child, this unidentified child, this unknown child, is now a suffix. Am I a Kohen? Am I a Yisrael? So what do? We apply all the chumras. We treat him as a Kohen, we treat him as Yisrael. Noise isha rui l'kohen. You can only marry an isha who's fit for a kohen. Ve'in metam l'meisem. He can't become tamei. Ve'im nitma, if he did, eino yisofik. It's arboim. You can't give him malchus. Prove that I'm a kohen. Eino ichel betruma. You can't have truma. Ve'im achal. If he did eat it, eino mishalm karen rachem. You can't force him to pay for it. Ve'eino yichelek al agoyin. You don't give him a portion of truma out in the field. U'meicher truma v'adamim shaloi. If he happens to have truma, he can sell it and keep the money. And you don't give him the karbanis to eat. Nor do you give him karbanis to be makriv. You don't know what he is. Suppose this fellow brings a carbon to the mikdash. He has the privilege of a kohen pertaining to the fact that he can grant the akrava to any kohen that he sees fit. Typically, you give it to the officiating, rotation, the group that's working, the mishmar. But when a kohen brings a carbon, it's his business. He can, give it to a friend of his. So this fellow as well can do the same. He can give it to somebody as he sees fit. Upater and he doesn't have to, give all the portions of the behemoth that usually goes to a kohen from a non-carbon, just a plain behemoth that's nishchat. You give the forearm, etc. He doesn't have to give that because perhaps he's a kohen. Prove me otherwise. If he has a firstborn animal, which is typically going to the kohen, he holds on to it until it gets a blemish and uses it. When he gets all the chumris, this was pertaining to the mincha as we discussed before. Suppose both fathers, Reuven and Shimon, are both kohanim. So for a fact that this boy, Levi, is a kohen, but don't know who's his father. Is Reuven my father or Shimon my father? So what happens? We apply only the chumras. When they pass away, he observes aninus. He can be makriv on that day, etc. Veim oinina olav, and likewise they observe aninus on account of his passing. Perhaps he is their son. Hu eina mitama lahem. He cannot engage in their kvura. He can't become tummy because I don't know who my father is. Veim einon mitama loi. Likewise, they can't become tummy on account of his passing. Hu eina yerush, his son. He has no right to inherit their property, because the other brothers say, look, you belong to the other family. Avalahem yoshno isoi, but the two families can split his estate. Look, 50-50. Upater al makosev al kilose shal zeh v'shal zeh. If he strikes or he curses either father, he doesn't get punished. Prove he's my father. Oile b'mishmore shal zeh v'shal zeh. He can go up to the Migdash and join Ruvain's rotation or Shimon's rotation, join the Akrava. But he doesn't get an allotment of the karbanas, because who's to say that you belong to this rotation? If both fathers belong to the same group, the same mishmar, in this case, either way, I'm allotted one portion, because either way, whether I'm Reuven or Shimon's son, I belong to this rotation. Now we had the case of the siblings on Reuven's side, siblings on Shimon's side, where we said that there's no concern of erva, so they can do chalitza on Yibum to Levi's wife. But dafka mechlatz v'adar Yibumi, only if they start with chalitza and then Yibum. Aval Yibumi b'reish loy, but you can't start with Yibum. You know why? Because I don't know if she's really my Yevama. Maybe she's the other fellows. The kapaga b'Yevama l'shuk, was perhaps he's going to encounter Yevama who was meant to have Yibum. She can't go marry a stranger. So first you do the chalitza, and then the other brother steps in, does the yibum. This way she's covered either way. Amar Shmuel, here comes a chiddush. Asora kahanim, if 10 kahanim standing on the side. Asora kahanim oimdim, right? Confirmed kahanim. Upirush echad mem, one fellow separates. Ubal, and he gets involved with an isha, and they have a child. Havlad shetuki, the child is called a shetuki. He's silenced. What does that mean? My shetuki. Ilema shemishatkin oisoi. Minichsi aviv. Shtuki means mishatkim. We silence him. We don't grant him Yerusha privileges from his father's estate. Well, pshita, of course. Miyad inun avo mano. Do we then know who his father is? Of course, he cannot have Yerusha claims. Ella, rather, the chiddush was shemishatkin oisim din kuhuna. It means like this: that there are 10 kohanim. This child is one of those Kohanim's sons. Still, he cannot go serve in the Mikdash. My time of why? What's wrong? Pasuk continues, Beris kunas oilam, and we learn kahuna is a perpetual existence. It's handed down from father to son to son. Be'inon zaroy miyuchas achra v'leka. Here's a chiddush. You have to have absolute clarity when it comes to your lineage in order for you to be considered a full-fledged kohen. I know this is my father, my grandfather. In this case, although Hashem knows he's a kohen, but it's lacking in clarity, lacking in yichus. He doesn't have the schus to serve in the mikdash. That's a big chiddush in the name of Shmuel. Maskevler of Papa, he had a kash. El mi'ata. If that's how you learn the pasuk. What about Gabi Avram? By Avram Avinu, T'chsiv, Liyos, L'chol, L'kim, L'zacharech. Similar language. L'cha, L'zaracha. In that case, we're dealing with a Yisrael. It's not Kuhuna related. Hasam, Maikom, Mazor, Le'rachmana. What's the Torah warning him against? What's the Torah stipulating of it? The same language, and it doesn't pertain to this halacha, because you're certainly in agreement that by a Yisrael, this concern doesn't apply. Just because he doesn't know exactly who his father is, he's still a proper Jew. Hachikamar. Lay. Says the Gemara, no. By Avram Avinu, Hashem had a different thing in mind. Hashem was instructing Avram and subsequent generations not to get involved with a shivcha or a guy. You know why? We're going to lose that continuity. That your children, your descendants should not identify with the guy. You're going to lose that lineage. You're going to lose that chain. Meisve, here comes a kash. Shmuel says, An unidentified child cannot serve in the Mikdash. He's not treated as a kohen. We have a Mishnah way back on the Flamet Zion. A Yevamos jumped straight into Yibam. Her departed husband and the Yavam were both Kehanim. So although she acted in haste, but it doesn't affect the child. Rishon Ro'oi Lias Kohen Gadol. Firstborn child there can be a Kohen Gadol because he's certainly a Kohen. Although we don't know whether he's Reuven or Shimon's child. What do you mean? You just told me that a Kohen, in order to serve at the Mikdash, she has to be identifiable. This fellow, he doesn't know where he's coming from. Answers the Gemara. Zara miyuchas achrav d'Rabbanan. Truthfully, this whole concept of absolute lineage is only with the Rabbanan. We try to avoid confusing situations and pitfalls of znus, etc. We want it to be clear cut, but it's only the Rabbanan. Ukras machta ba'am. And although we had a pasuk, which is just a hint, a support to this concept, which is merely the Rabbanan. And the Rabbanan were limited in their application of this halacha. V'chigazer Rabbanan. Rabbanan only applied this halacha business when they acted inappropriately. So that leads to confusion, to mamzeh, all kinds of issues. It has to be clear cut. You did znus, at least make sure you know exactly who fathered that child. Otherwise, he's disqualified from kahuna. But b'nesu, in the case of a proper marriage, as in that Mishnah that we just mentioned, she did yibam, it's a proper marriage. Well, she acted in haste, a little bit too quick, but it is nesuin. In that case, like gazer rabbanon, anything that's within the marital situation, like gazer rabbanon, even though it was in haste, without waiting the 3 months. Ubeznus mi gazer rabbanon. Is that true that in a znus situation, the rabbanon did apply this halacha? Unless the child knows who fathered him, he cannot serve in the Mikdash. Vatnan. What about our Mishnah? We're going to take apart our Mishnah and come up with a kasha on Shmuel. So we have Reuven, the first husband, Shimon, the second husband. Rachel went from Reuven to Shimon without waiting the 3-month separation period. Venisis V'yolda, she remarries and she had a child. Okay, now let's just analyze the case. My achar bal. So she went and she did not wait 3 months after her husband, after husband number 1, Reuven. What happened to Reuven? Ilim achar Mrs. Bala. Do you mean that he passed away? Okay, fine, possible. Amos Sefer, let's move on. We have a case there of Reuven being a kohen, Shimon being a kohen, and the child Levi is a kohen, but I don't know whether Reuven is my father or Shimon's. Mishnah says, we go to Chumrah. Hu oinin aleim. So when they pass away, he has to observe aninus, just in case. They have to observe aninus upon his passing, just in case. Now, Bishleiva, hu oinin aleim. How could this child Levi possibly have to mourn Reuven and Shimon? I thought Reuven passed away already. That's when his mother married Shimon, right? But it can work out. Mishkachas lo. How can it work? B'nesuin d'sheni. B'nesuin, and some add the word b'misasa d'sheni. Rachel went and married Shimon, and then he passed away. Okay, so that's how Levi will observe Aninus in honor of Sheni, or in honor of Shimon, right? What about Reuven? V'likud atzamis dekama. Although Reuven already passed away, but there's something called likud atzamis. They rebury the bones, so that generates Aninus on the day of. So Levi has to observe Aninus in honor of Reuven as well. Elohim eininim alav. Heichim mishkachas. 1 second, but they, Reuven and Shimon, will observe Aninus upon Levi's passing. Kama, the first husband Reuven, he's no longer here. He's no longer with us. Hamisla, I thought he died. What's he doing observing Aninus? So Misa is not an option. The Mishnah apparently is not speaking about Reuven's Misa. Apparently, Rachel is a Grusha. After getting divorced from Reuven, she went and married Shimon. So Reuven is a Kohen, married to Rachel. He was Megarish Rachel. And she quickly, without waiting enough time, she jumped into Shimon's family. Shimon is also a Kohen. Levi, the son, comes into the world. I don't know whether I'm Reuven's son or Shimon's son. Umay achar bala. The Mishnah says that Rachel failed to wait the prescribed period after Bala, after Reuven. It means achar get Bala, after Reuven divorced. Okay, so far so good. Is it going to work out? Let's see. Amos Sefer, the Mishnah continues. Hu ein matame lahem. Upon Reuven and Shimon's passing, Levi will not be allowed to become tummy. I don't know whether he's my father or him. Likewise, they cannot engage with his tumah. I don't know whether he's my son or the other fellows. How does this work? You understand why they cannot become tummy to him? Because it's a chumrah. Because every fellow, look, maybe he's not his son. That makes sense. Ella, rather, who ein matam lehem? What does it mean that Levi cannot become tummy to them? Amai, why? I understand why I can't become tummy for Shimon. You know why? Because look, I might be Reuven's child, in which case I have no business becoming tummy to Shimon. Okay, good enough reason why I can't engage Shimon's tumah. But what about Reuven's tumah? Memanav shech, it's mutter. Ela l'rishan l'tamile, memanav shech. In any case, I can become tummy for Reuven. You know why? Ibrehu, if I'm Reuven's son, shaper come tamile, then of course I can become tummy. But if he's Shimon's child, still, shaper come tamile. Of course I could still become tummy for Reuven. You know why? You know why? Because, remember, Reuven divorced Rachel. A Gerusha cannot marry a Shimon, the other Kain. She did so anyways. This child, Levi, is a Chalal. A Chalal has no din kahuna, he can become tummy. So Shabbat Kamatamale, if he's really Shimon's child, he was born from an inappropriate union. He's a Chalal. Remember, Rachel was a Gerusha from Reuven. He's a Chalal. The Chalalu, of course he become tummy to Reuven. Right? Reuven was married to Rachel. He divorced Rachel. She went and married Shimon. The child was born. I don't know whether I'm Reuven's child or Shimon's child. Mishnah says I can't become tummy to either. Why? Why? Shimon I can't because maybe I'm Reuven's child. I'm a proper Kohen if I'm Reuven's child. So I can't become tummy to Shimon. But I can become tummy to Reuven. Either is my father. Right? Or even if he's not, I'm Shimon's son, then I'm a Chalal because he had no business marrying Rachel and producing myself. Elalav business. The only other option we have, Misa didn't work because they're both alive. Gerusha didn't work because then I'm a Chalal. Rachel was involved with Shimon Biznus, not in a marriage context. Sorry. Rachel was involved with Reuven, the first husband, Biznus. So Rachel was involved with Reuven, and then she married Shimon. Ella Biznus. It was nus between Reuven and Rachel. Umay achar bala. When the Mishnah refers to her husband, achar boila. First fellow wasn't actually a husband; he was just involved with her. Right? So everything worked out so far. We have both men alive. Right? So now we could speak about their halacha as far as becoming tummy for him because they're alive. We're speaking that the Isha was not a Gerusha, so the child is a proper Kayan. Although she was involved in Znus with Reuven, but he wasn't a guy or anything like that. So although it was improper, but the child, theoretically, the child would still be a proper Kayan. We just don't know who my father is. Is it Reuven or Shimon? Okay? Now, Uktani Sefer. What does the Mishnah say? When it comes to avoid the Migdash, I can go. The child can go up and serve with both groups, with Reuven's rotation and Shimon's rotation. There's a Kasha on Shmuel says that when a Kohen's roots are unknown, you can't serve in the Migdash. Omar Shmaya, let me give you another option for the Mishnah, which will be consistent with Shmuel. Bimima Enes. What happened was that Rachel was a Ketana when she married Reuven. It was not Znus. You see, Shmuel's halacha that a non-miyuchas can't serve, as we mentioned, that's only by Znus. But when it's within a marriage situation, even if the child's father is unknown, it's okay, right? That was the conclusion before. So now, Rosh Maya will seek to present a case where there was nothing done in terms of znus, and still we could have both men alive, and child is kosher, and he has a suffix, who his father is. Ma'enes. Reuven was married to a ketana, married, so there's no znus involved. There's no concern of Shmuel with the yichus, right? She walks off on him. She walks away. That's Miyun, right? Rejects the husband, and goes and marries Shimon. Within a short time, within 3 months, they have this child, Levi. Is Reuven my father or Shimon my father? So now we have all the pieces of the puzzle. Both parents, fathers are around. There was no avera done. No kasher kayin. And that works with fits all the requirements. Asks the Gemara, but there's one little technical problem. She's a ketana. She can't have children to begin with. A child who can do me and a ketana, she has the ability to bear children? Of course not. We had this Gemara back on the Afyud Beis. Rav Bevi quotes Rav Nachman. The following 3 women should take extra precautions, should take some means of interference and ensure that they don't become expecting. Mu'beret, if she's already expecting, the newcomer might damage the fetus. Umanika, if she's already nursing, the newcomer might disrupt the feeding process. Ukatana, I skip one. Katana, Mu'beres, Umanika. These 3. The Gemara explains. Katana, what's wrong with the katana becoming Mu'beres? It's not too healthy. Shematis abar v'tamis, she might become expectant and die from it. Mu'beres, by the Mu'beres, Shematas u'baras sandal, the new fetus might actually stamp out, disfigure the existing unborn child. Menika, what's wrong with the Menika? Becoming expectant. Shematigmos b'nov Yevamos, her milk might be affected, and she might be forced to stop feeding that child. Ve'ezei ktana. What type of ketana are we referring to? Who can't bear children? From the day she turns 11, ad bas shtem eser shana v'yamech, until 12. That's the area of concern. But otherwise, no concern, because pachas mekan, below that age, or yasser akan, above that age, there's no concern, because below that age she can't even become mu'beres, and above that age, fine, malotov, she can bear children, fine, perfectly fine. So the concern is only within that year, from 11 to 12. But otherwise, mishameshes kedaka v'lechas, she just does things normally without intervention. Whether this woman or that woman, all these cases as well, we don't have to interfere. Mishameshes kedaka v'lechas, just do things conventionally. Hashem will take care of it. Hashem will have compassion and guard her from all harm. Hashem will guard over those, unlearned, simpleton people. Bottom line is, you're telling me this Isha was a Ketana, married Reuven, and then Shimon, she had a child. We don't know. Well, if she was only a Ketana while married to Reuven, of course this child isn't theirs. Mishgachasla, says the Gemara, I have one more option which will address all concerns. We want both men alive. We want the situation to have been marriage-related, not znus-related. Otherwise, you're running into the issue of lineage and yichus. We want the child to be a kasher kayin, not a chol. You know how? One possibility. B'kedushay tos. So Rachel was involved with Reuven. She was engaged to Reuven. She was married to him, perhaps. A proper marriage, but they conditioned it. You have to give me $1 million, otherwise it won't stand. Whatever condition they stipulated, it didn't hold up. So they married, had a child maybe, and then suddenly, poof, the whole marriage disappeared. It dissipated retroactively. You can do that. The Amar, Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel, Mishum Rabbi Shmuel, V'ilon etfas asur. Pasuk says a woman typically who was married and then got involved with another man, she becomes asur because she did it willingly. She wasn't forced. Lo netfas. We have a diuk. Ha netfas muteres. If it was done forced, it was by way of nitvasa, then she's okay. She's not affected in terms of returning to her husband. Vihi, right? There's an extra word vihi. In this case, we say, well, it depends whether it was willingly or not. You have another case, even if she was not forced to do what she did. It will not affect her status vis-a-vis her husband. What type of case are we speaking? An Isha who had a Kiddush Tos. She was married to Reuven. She was married to him and they had a child. She's carrying the child on her shoulders. Just walk away from him. It turns out that the marriage was unsuccessful. It was conditioned on something which didn't materialize. And that is the case in our Mishnah as well. How? You have Reuven married to Rachel, but there was some sort of condition inserted into the agreement, into the contract. They're married, they live together. And then it turns out that the Kedushin became null and void. And then she went over and married Shimon, within the 3-month period. She did not wait long enough. 7 months later, they have a child. Now, both Reuven and Shimon are Kohanim. This child, Levi, is certainly a Kohen. Either I'm Reuven's child or Shimon's child. I don't know who my father is. But, once again, we're speaking that this whole thing occurred with a marriage arrangement. There was no nus involved, nothing at all, nothing inappropriate. Well, then, how did Rachel go to Shimon? If Reuven is still around and he didn't give a divorce, he don't need a divorce. Kedusha Tos. Everything works. It was fine. It was kosher. Child is okay. Just doesn't know who his father is. Both are Kohanim. Both are around. Both are alive. As the Rishmol tells us, that if you have a marriage which is based on a condition, and this issue goes and gets involved with another man, willingly, and then it turns out that her marriage with this first fellow was null and void, becomes batal, then we don't treat her as a mezana, we don't make her asan. Down the line, if she wants to go and get married to Reuven again, she could do it. It doesn't affect her status vis-a-vis Reuven because her marriage to him really was terminated retroactively, nullified. So knowing that, we can now work at our Mishnah and fit in all the pieces of the puzzle which will work properly and even fit with Shmuel's halacha regarding the yichas of a kohen. So what do we learn? When it comes to Truma, we don't give the Eved or the Isha, the Truma and the Beis HaGarden, but Maaser, Ani. We will give the Isha. Because that's different, that's done in the home, and in fact we give it to her first and send her on her way to spare her that unnecessary aggravation and embarrassment. When we have a suffix, a Kohen and a suffix, a Eved, we force them to release them, each other so they can go get married. Now we have a Kohen and a Yisrael mixed together. So what do we do with the Mincha? We had two approaches. Either we take the Kaimet separately and the Shiraim separately. We have in mind, well, if it doesn't belong in the Mizbeach, we'll use it as fuel, or we take it or we burn it by the Beis Hatesh. Then we had the Mishnah with this woman who did not wait enough time between marriages. This child is now unidentified. We don't know whether Reuven's or Shimon's. We discussed the Chalitza issues. We discussed the fact that if both parents were one father was a Kohen, other was Yisrael, we apply all the chumras that are appropriate there. And we discussed the halacha when they're both Kohanim, what we do. We had the chiddush of Shmuel that a Kohen can only serve in the Mikdash if he knows with certainty who his father is. And the Gemara concludes it's only pertaining to his nus, but within a marriage situation, that is not a concern. And then we work to figure out the Mishnah and fit it according to Shmuel. Now you have much hatzlacha and psuras tayus.